What's up, kings and queens? Welcome back to their POV with Nick and King. We are your host, Nikki Johnson.
And I am the King Harrington. How y'all all doing today?
We hope y'all are well, that your families are well.
Yes.
And that all is well. Straight off the cuff, this is not going to be an easy show to do today, but we are doing it today. King, your buzzers are going off. Can you turn your notifications off, sweetie?
Oh, okay. My bad. Sorry about that.
And so I'm going to go to your page. So last week, we had so many people making comments from King's page, but for whatever reason, they were not showing up. Okay, we just lost King. They were not showing up in the comments, so I'm going to make sure that we don't have that problem today. So I will be looking on my other phone for comments from his page, comments from this page. We're going to work it out today. Prayerfully, I'll get my co-host back in just a second. As you're coming in, say something so we know that you are here. And let's see, my mother is saying something. Hello, Mama. Hello, Queen. Yeah. So we're gonna have a family talk today. We're just doing a check-in. We want to see how you all are doing. We're gonna talk about some stuff. It's just not gonna be an easy show to do. But thank you all for joining. I see you as you're coming in. And we're going to give King a moment to join us back. But thank you so much for being here today. I'm going to try super hard not to cry during this show. I don't know if it's going to happen, but I'm going to try. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, there he is.
All right, sorry about that.
All right. So as we are waiting on family to come in and join us, I'm already on your page looking for comments to come through.
Cool.
But start off with how our weekend was, and we can kick the conversation off.
Okay. My weekend. What did I do? Oh, well, yeah, my wife's aunt and uncle celebrated their birthdays together. One was 75, one was 70, I think. So we attended that. That went real nice. And then today, my wife and my daughter went back to my daughter's house to help her get prepared to move. She's getting ready to move soon. So that's what's going on there. And other than that, I'm just chilling and ready to see how's everybody else is doing. And you, Nick?
My weekend was wonderful. So I celebrated my spiritual father's birthday this weekend with family and friends. We had a really good seafood boil. Y'all know me and seafood boils and my little wicked sauce. So it was wonderful. It was good to be with family and laughing and joking and reminiscing and not thinking about other things. It was just really, really, really nice. So I had a great weekend. Today, I want to give a shout out to my baby sister. She is 4 years younger than me. She is one of my best friends. We are incredibly close. It is her birthday today. It is also my nephew Josh's birthday. So happy birthday to Josh. Happy birthday to Treva. Y'all know how much I love y'all. So happy birthday.
Happy birthday, y'all. Many more to come.
Thank you so much. All righty, so King, now that you are back, we can go ahead and get started.
All right.
It's up here. All righty, there we go. And it won't let me. Okay, let me start. All righty then. So if I'm missing any comments, please forgive me. Like I said, we realized last week that all the ones that were being posted from his page, for whatever reason, were not translating over here, even though we were getting all the other comments. So we want to definitely apologize for that. All righty. So Today, if you read any of our promos, we are going to be just really talking, discussing where we all are and how we feel. Got some comments coming in. Where we all are and how we feel with everything that has recently taken place in our world. And I do know, before anybody says it, I know it's not anything new, unfortunately. However, there have been so many things back to back that have happened. And this conversation for me is just super, super important to have, because we have to check in to see how each other is doing. We want to know how you're doing. Catch that, King, baby. We want to see how each other is doing mentally. We want to allow a platform for anyone to talk, to express. Hey, William. Hey, darling.
What up, Will?
As at the bottom of the screen, anyone that would love to join the conversation, that would love to express how they are feeling, you are more than welcome to come on stage with us. It is going to be open forum tonight. The only thing we do ask is that everyone be respectful. You are allowed to speak your piece, but of course, we're never going to allow disrespect. So if you're interested in joining us tonight on the stage, please let us know, and I will send you the link to do so. One of the reasons why this conversation needed to be had and was so important to me is I had a very hard week. If I'm gonna keep it 100, I had a very hard week dealing with all of this, the news and everything that had happened, because last week we were doing condolences for the people of Buffalo, New York, and the families that lost family members at the shooting at the church in California. And then to have what happened, Uvalde is about 70 something miles from San Antonio. Literally, it's up the street. And I did not personally know any of the victims or their families. But when anything happens to one of us, it happens to us all. As a mother, as a human, as someone that just has such a huge heart and just cares about people so much, brokenhearted is the best way I could have described how this week has felt. I thank God for the people that I can call when I need to release. And I had to give what was on my heart to two of my friends before I could even conduct or participate in a housing commission meeting and several other meetings I had this week, because my heart and my mind was just not there. And I thought about it. There are so many people that don't have places that they can release, that they can talk, that they can vent, that they can express how they feel, other than posting on social media, which can be a bit impersonal because it's social media. So why not allow it here today? So that is what we're going to be doing. King, before we continue, what are your thoughts at this moment? Those who have joined, please read the bottom of the screen. Let us know if you'd like to join us. Please share this conversation right now. Go ahead, King.
Man, what can I say? I mean, all I can do is, definitely send my condolences again. Just last Sunday we were doing it. Here we go another Sunday, doing it again. Our condolences to the families and all the victims up in Uvalde, Texas. I mean, it definitely puts you in a mind frame, like, how's everybody doing? Like, I mean, like you said, even the people that wasn't there, it's just a ongoing thing, and we've been going through this for quite a time. But when it's back to back like this, you're like, yo, you don't even get time to understand what just happened last week. Friday, Saturday, and then come up another week, and there's something going on all the time, and it really just makes you think about, wow. I mean, is this the world we live in? I mean, we know we live in a world that's crazy, and just a lot of things going on, and violence. But to just like go one week and deal with that, and then the next week again, I'm like, that's a lot. That's a lot. And if people with just regular mental disabilities and dealing with their mental health, just trying to process that amongst the stuff they're processing already, it's a lot. It's a lot to think about. You even in another city, walking into a grocery store and looking, just watching your back a whole lot more than you ever have, because you never know, or just anywhere. And it's sad that you gotta, feel that uncomfortable. about just your daily routine of doing things or going places because of things like this. And this is like Nick said, to have a talk about this, it's just your, awareness. How's everybody feeling? Just dealing with their awareness of what their lives are on a daily, more so than regular. Stepping out your door and just thinking about, okay, do I want to go to Walmart? Do I want to go to Food Line? Do I try to go online? I mean, that's bad. I mean, it's one thing when they give you the option, but but when you feel like, that's just the safest way. It's like, wow, pandemic, 2.5 years held us down that we couldn't leave our houses.
Right.
And now here we are where this type of situation. Right. Yeah, exactly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, it's a lot. I mean, the pandemic, if it didn't shake anybody, it just shook the world. But, to come out of that, just still not coming out of it, but slowly trying to see your way. And now, once you get outside, to step outside, get a breath of fresh air, God, you can only stand in front of your house. That's about as far as you can go, and feel like, okay, well, I guess I go back in the house and call and, to have my groceries delivered to my house, or, pick them up outside in the parking lot, where they deliver them. So, yeah, that's where I'm at. It's just a lot. It's just overwhelming, as a person dealing with PTSD, it's a lot. It's a lot. It makes you just feel like, oof.
Love that you brought that up, King. We're going to hit that in a minute. We have comments coming in from your page. So you have one from Robbie Cross. We have one, from Robbie Cross. Right. That they're checking in from Virginia. Thank you so much.
Thanks, Rob.
My mom said she's finally able to listen. She's been sending messages that she couldn't hear or couldn't get in, but she's able to listen in. So thank you, Mom, and everyone else that is watching from King's page. Again, thank you to all of you that are watching from from our page. And I'm going to keep looking out for the comments on this device over here. My mama said, indeed it is. And in the comments that we have coming up over here on the monitor. So, you were mentioning having PTSD. You were mentioning the pandemic. It's for people that don't have to deal with mental illness, for people that don't deal with stress, for people that don't have to deal with PTSD, for people that kind of, and I'm not judging you, but there are a lot of people that none of this is affecting them. I mean, they would tell you, it ain't nothing new. But for those that don't have to deal with those things, having all of this stuff compounded on top of everyday life is difficult. It's not just some letters to say. It's not just a feeling to throw out there. There are people that have been struggling with anxiety. And there are a lot of us as melanated people that have been struggling with some things for several years. And this was another one. I will say, when the murders, because that's what they are, I'm not going to call them shootings, they were murders. The murders that took place in Buffalo, New York. And I do apologize. Trigger warning, if this is a tough conversation for anyone to listen to, we will not be offended if you need to turn it off. But it's so important. It has to be had. So if it's a trigger warning for you, please turn it off at this time. Watching, because he targeted. I got so many cameras I'm looking at, so I'm paying attention. It makes me scared to bring my children into this world. I hear you, William. I hear you. Because he targeted an area that he knew would be Black people only. When I have watched their family members do press conferences, there is this one woman that she wails.
It's okay, Nick. It's okay.
She wails. She wails from the depths of her insides at the. Are you able to hear me?
Yeah.
Sorry, somebody, as always, are trying to call when I'm live. She wails at the pain that she is feeling, having to bury one of her family members. And her family member just went to the store. And then to turn around and then to turn around and watch not just those families, but the families of all of these babies that just went to school. That's all it did. These emotions that we are feeling are so real, and we have to check on each other. We have to see if we are okay. And if we ourselves are not okay, if, thank you, William. If we ourselves are not okay, if we are feeling any type of emotion, anger, hurt, pain, it is so best that we talk to someone and not keep these things inside. We have got to talk, especially us as a people, because it seems like it was always something, and we don't talk because we got to keep going, and we got to keep working, and we got to keep taking care of our families. So we have to talk. King, I'm gonna turn it over to you
Okay. All right. Yeah. Like you said, the emotions run high. You know what I'm saying? And the kind of person she is, y'all, that's why she, emotional so well, because it really affects her when anything happens like that. When it comes to situations and murders, and especially when it comes to kids, she's definitely not our kids, but just anybody. So we definitely got you, Nick. That's like you said. That's why we like to have these conversations so we can see where people at. Let them know that we thinking about, we care. Of how their mindset is, and that they can talk to somebody if they need to, if they want to. It's just something. I mean, my mom was just talking today. Just lost a cousin. That well, when I ain't gonna say my cousin, one of my friends' sisters. She passed away at work. Had a heart attack at work, and just always dealing with some type of tragedy. People don't understand that. If you don't, I feel if you don't vent that, or especially if somebody's close to you, or just dealing with the world situation with these type of situations, don't express it in some kind of way, it will bother you. It will, have you all, discombobulated mentally, and you trying to understand, like you said, move forward. But I mean, how can you just honestly watch this, hear this, see this, and just function like it ain't happening? There's no way. There's no way. I mean, we can sit here and try to cover it up and disguise as much as we can, but this is real life. This is no video game. This is real life. This is you stepping out your door, going to the grocery store just to pick up something, and you didn't make it back home. That's some serious, and as much as we think about every day that we go and know we coming home to a certain extent, but no, really no, these are the thoughts, like you said, you send your kids to school, thinking that they're going to be safe and do what they're supposed to do, and they don't come home. It's it's tragic. It's really tragic.
The babies just went to school. We got a couple comments that came in from your page. Your niece, okay. Talisha, I'm sorry, baby, I don't want to mess up your name.
Talicia.
It's Talicia. Mm-hmm. She says, I'm here, Unc. And Marcus Lewis from New York is just checking in. So thank you all so much.
Appreciate you, cousin, and my niece.
There is a couple things I want to read. I want to get everyone's thoughts on. I got these actually from William Pleasant's page, on Instagram, and I did tell him that I would read this today. So on one side, this says, you know what? I wonder, let me ask him, William, do I have permission to take this and put it up on our graphics as well as read it? Give me a thumbs up if you're cool with that. If he's okay with that, I would rather put it up so it can make more sense. I read them and my mouth was just open.
Yeah, me too.
Open.
Yeah, I read those and I was like, wow.
Says yes. If y'all give me a second, I'm gonna put this up. So I want to ask you, King, dealing with PTSD for other situations, when something like this occurs, what do you do to take care of yourself mentally? How do you handle it?
Me, music has always been my go-to. Always have. So, put the headset on, get into me a vibe or some jazz or some smooth R&B that I like, and just sit there and just vibe. That's all I can do. I mean, for people that don't understand PTSD, it's something. It really can really put you in a real deep and dark place when things like this happen. Because you think about what you went through, how you ended up with PTSD, and then you think about some of the other tragic things that happened, and it's like adding stuff on. It's like piling it on, and for therapy to go, to have those therapy sessions and listen, people listen to you talk, and when you're not talking to them, and something like this happens, and you have to find a different way
Yeah.
to be able to deal with it. And music has always been my go-to.
Yeah.
So, for me to put my headset on and just like, movies. I mean, I don't know if people think the same way I think about when I go to a movie theater, but when I go, it's like I'm gone for that 2 hours.
Yeah.
Like I'm not even there. I'm like wherever that movie's at or how the setting, it's like I feel like I'm in that setting. I'm in that environment. And then until the credits start rolling, you know what I'm saying? Till then I'm back. I'm back.
It's
Understanding.
like
I'm
away for a while.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
that definitely helps, you know. But yeah, it's a challenge. I'll tell anybody it's a challenge, a daily challenge.
Yeah.
Yeah, daily. So yeah, I mean, if you know you need help, or if you don't know, talk to somebody. Talk to somebody. Just to get those thoughts out. So you can kind of just let them know how you feeling, and checking in on people checking on you. I mean, like I said, we don't live in Texas, we don't live in Buffalo, but we talking about we're human beings, and we understand how things like that affect our family, just them passing away. So you can only imagine how they feel. Saying their families feel. So you want to be able to sympathize and understand that hurt that you feel when something happens to you, and feeling that. And that's how we come together and understanding that it takes us, each other, to make us feel like, okay, you're going to be okay. You know what I'm saying?
And let me say this. I was going to make a post about this, but I decided to save it for today's show. Being a Christian does not mean that you cannot have feelings. It doesn't mean that you don't feel it because you mourn or because you cry. It doesn't mean that you don't have faith in God. You are a human. You were given tear ducts for a reason, emotions for a reason. Jesus himself cried. So please miss me with those. I need to be missed completely with that. As much as I love God, it did not change the pain and hurt that I felt when I saw what I saw and I heard what I heard when all of this happened. So it doesn't mean that we are not allowed to have feelings. And it does not mean that you don't have faith in the Lord because you have feelings of despair. Sometimes people feel hopeless. People feel helpless. It is a painful thing to watch parents scrambling, fighting a police officer because they really want to get to where their child is, because they believe their child is in danger. And then you have to give a DNA sample and can't find out until midnight if your child is one of the dead ones. You cannot tell me. You will not tell me what to do with my tears and my emotions. You will not. I am done with that. I want to see, can I get this up better than this? All righty. And I'm sorry, I don't have time to put it up properly. But William, thank you for your permission to do so. He said he got this, I believe, off of Twitter. And it says romaine lettuce versus firearms. 13 people hospitalized from E. coli outbreak. Deaths occurred that will report. I'm sorry, 0 deaths reported. But the immediate response was they pulled, hold on one second. Let me take the bottom off for a moment, that they pulled that lettuce from the store shelves nationwide, seemingly overnight. So immediately, E. coli breaks, 13 people get it, no one dies, it's pulled. Firearms are responsible for at least 38 deaths in 2016. The response, nothing. Not a thing, not a zilch, zero zip. More die every day. Here's one more that I wanted to read. I mean, I literally found I was like, I want to put these up today. Can I? 1967, Jane Mansfield is killed when her car runs under the rear end of a tractor trailer. Since then, all trailers have a dot bar at the rear to keep cars from going under them. In 82, 7 people died from Tylenol packaging that have been tampered with. Since then, it takes a PhD, channel locks, and a sharp object to get into the bottle. Y'all know how hard it is to open up Tylenol. 95, a bombing using a certain kind of fertilizer solution, grade aluminum nitrate, killed 168 people. So the government imposed severe restrictions on the purpose of that fertilizer. In 2001, one person attempts to blow up a plane with a shoe bomb. Since then, all air travelers have to take off their shoes for scanning before being allowed to board. In 68, 1,516,863 people have died from guns on American soil. Gun violence kills an average of 168 people every 2 days. Now, the problem apparently can't be solved except by thoughts and prayers. That was so powerful because that is what gets offered from our politicians a lot of the times. Our thoughts and our prayers are with. Our thoughts and our prayers go out too. However, when those other things happen, there is an immediate response. But an 18-year-old can walk into a store and purchase 2. Yes, it is, William. Absolutely ridiculous. King, what are your thoughts on either one of your? What are your thoughts?
It makes no sense. It makes no sense. You know, we looked at all those different years and things that happened and how quick things were done to eliminate, to help eliminate the situation happening again. But yet, we can't get these guns. My thing is assault rifles. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I don't understand.
It makes no sense.
Why
military actively,
exactly. Why is there a problem, doing the background check or not abandoning assault rifles? Nobody needs to carry around an AR-15.
I'm sorry, King. I'm trying to understand you one without a driver's license. He had no driver's license. First of all, they should not be sold unless you are in the military actively. He's 18, had just turned.
Right.
No driver's license, but purchased 2 assault rifles. They were
AR-15. That's what I'm saying. They should AR-15s to me. They're assault rifles. You know what I'm saying? They shoot semi-automatic, and some of them can be messed with and changed to shoot automatic. So I understand hunting with regular rifles. You know what I'm saying? 30-06 and 12 gauges and 20 gauges, but you ain't got no reason to go out and shoot anything with an AR-15 or AK-47. So that really, I just don't understand why it's so a problem to ban those. You know what I'm saying? Because the last 2 shootings were AR-15s. You know what I'm saying? Civilians buying an AR-15.
By children.
Exactly. Young boys.
Sorry, to me, it's you really over 25, but
still,
he was 18.
18, yeah.
He was fresh 18. He was fresh.
But I don't see any reason to own AR-15. No, I really don't. There's no reason. And I don't see between doing a background check for them or banning them. What's the problem?
I don't understand selling them. William says, even if you're allowed to sell, why?
Exactly.
You need assault rifle to go hunt deer.
Exactly. Exactly. I would say, deers and turkeys. You don't need no AR. They've been using before the AR-15 came out. You was using a 12 gauge. Okay, he was using a 20 gauge. Using those type of shotguns. Why all of a sudden, since they started making out, you can use it. What? Really?
Ironically, we had the NRA convention here in Texas this weekend.
Really?
Yes.
Wow.
And
that's something.
And that was the most ironic-ish ever in
I
Houston.
can imagine. I can only imagine.
And my mama's watching. I said, "Ish, mama, ish." That much prayer continue. Oh boy.
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a whole lot.
It's a lot. It's a lot to find out the details that occurred, because I remember when the initial reports came out and about these type of events. All of the initial reports, you have to always side eye and be leery, because everyone wants to be the first one to get the story out. So it's going to be a lot of missing pieces. However, investigations still have to be done. And so until that actually begins, you have so many questions. I had so many that didn't make sense. My number one still is how he was able to leave when he crashed his vehicle, and there were officers right there, how he was able to leave with a backpack and and an AR-15 on his back, and then was confronted by officers at the school, and he still ended up getting into the schools. I would tell you, it broke my heart to find out how long he was in that classroom. He was in the school before he was killed, and the children that did survive, what they may have witnessed, heard, or even have to deal with. And my prayer has been for them as well, that they don't have PTSD. And then I'm not sure if you all heard, but the husband of one of the teachers that was murdered actually passed away just the other day from a heart attack. And his family said that he died from grief. So those children, I think they had 4. They were about to celebrate their 25th year wedding anniversary. They have now lost 2 parents. Should we be selling these things? I say absolutely not. There's no, you cannot justify a reason in my head to have certain weapons out on the street. There are countries that there's no civilian that has access to them.
Nope. Exactly.
And they surviving just fine.
Yeah.
We on the other hand, but okay. Catch that, King. So from shootings to racism to children being killed to regular everyday racism to corona, monkeypox. I'm a cry. It is so much. I would really like to know, for those who are watching, and even if you're watching in the replay, we still want to hear your answers. What are you doing to stay healthy, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, physically even? What are you doing? Are you talking to anyone if you found yourself very apprehensive to go out, to be out amongst people, to be out in public places? What are you doing to take care of yourselves? I mentioned at the top of the show, I have grateful for a couple of friends that when it was too much, I could call them and say, I need to get this out before I go do X, Y, and Z, because I have to get my head in the game and it's nowhere here. Y'all know I see my therapist twice a month, period. I pray a lot. I cry when I need to. I do the same thing King was saying with music. Music has always filled my life. And it becomes even more important to me when I'm going through something that has been huge for me. But I gotta be honest, one of the biggest things has been to release and cry when I need to, speak when I need to. What are you all doing to stay healthy? King, you mentioned music. What else are you doing to make sure that King is good?
I mean, that, like I said, for the most part, that's pretty much the main thing. I call my family, you know what I'm saying? I call, my mom, my dad, check on them and stuff. And, just, talk, like I said, just reach out to some of my friends just to see how they doing and check on them. Let them know I'm thinking about them, but like I said, if I need some therapy, I definitely call the VA. But like I said, for the most part, my music definitely just takes me to another place and really, makes me feel comfortable and helps me through just dealing with everyday life, just daily. Not even when these type of tragic things happen, on a daily. It's just when I wake up, and I have it all the time. So for the time I get up in the morning, the time I get in the shower, I got speaker there, I'm always thoroughly listening to music. So it's always running through me to keep that calmness, you know what I'm saying? So when I take a break and I'm watching television or I'm thinking about things, that's when I give a call and stuff and just see that, this is the life we live, the world we live in rather, and, just actually having to step out when I step outside, because usually when I work from home, so it'd be 4 or 5 days before I even left the house, before I even knew and thought about like, oh, I ain't been going nowhere. So that part of me kind of stuck for a while. And it's almost like now, I mean, gosh, that's like almost the best thing to do. And you don't want to feel that that's what you got to do. I mean, did it for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
Well, actually 2 years, you know what I'm saying? So, and you had to, you know what I'm saying? So think about when you don't really have to, but you're scared. You fear the point of, you never know who's happened to. I mean, it ain't like it's just going to do this date this month and the next date the next month. No, it's just randomly, and it's just sad.
Yeah.
When you have to deal with this. So, that's.
My birthday was on the 14th, and one of my really good friends, his wife passed away. His wife passed away. And then all this other stuff happened. At the time, and y'all didn't know it because I didn't speak about it until she got out. My mother was in the hospital. When I tell you it's life happening, and then you have tragedies, right? I'm grateful for my relationship with God. I really, really, really am, because he truly does give me strength. But there are just still those moments. It's just still those moments. Laughter is really good. For me, laughter is good medicine, for real. Laughter is really good. But I wanted to speak real quick on the word silent. And William, I see both your comments. I'm going to read them, and I appreciate you posting them. That's really good. Sometimes when people don't know how to express what they're feeling, when they don't know how to process what they're feeling, they will be quiet. If you're in a relationship, or if you're in a marriage where you found that your other has gone quiet and they're not really talking much, they're a little bit snippy, they're kind of a bit angrier, or maybe even sad, do your due diligence to reach out, but get help for them if they need it. But also be understanding they just may not know how to process in the moment. Let them know that you are there for them. Let them know, even if they can't talk, hold them, hug them, pray over them, pray with them, but be there for them, because sometimes people just don't know how to process. They're not angry with you. They're not upset with you. They just don't know how to process. So I just felt led to put that out there. So, King, you want to hit this that William said? I love this, William.
Sure. William said this happened during the last week of school for my students. This brought us closer. We passed out snacks and had a mini party on the last day of school, and they waited for dismissal. The enemy will not win. So true.
Amen.
So true. Can't let them.
Yeah. You want to respond to that?
Yeah, definitely, man. I mean, I can understand that, because they were saying that was I was supposed to get out of school this week, and to be able to, assure them and let them feel that, that love that you showed to them and they showed for each other as classmates, and then, we can't let the devil, regardless, can't let them win, this is part of our lives and this is what happens, but to go into a panic mode and, mentally shut down, can't. You need each other. To keep each other sane. Keep each other, feeling good, about life.
Yeah. So I have a network of other community advocates that I work with. So we do a lot of stuff out in the community. There was a mass text message that went out to us on, I think it may have been Friday or Thursday. I'm sorry, y'all. The Friday or Thursday, one of the days, that there had been an active shooter in a particular part of San Antonio. There was no confirmed information coming from our news outlets, but then sometimes the word on the street gets through quicker than the news would catch it. So we were keeping each other informed. About an hour and a half later, they said that he was apprehended with no one killed. And I kept wondering if it would show up on the news, because I learned this week that there have been 30 school shootings since January of 2022. I ain't heard about none of those. I hadn't heard about any of those. So I didn't know if this would make the news, but I was grateful that no one was killed because the area that he was in happens to be the area where my two sons live. And so, and I'm saying this because of what William said at the end about not letting the enemy win. The first thoughts that came was, and my sons, they're adults, but they're still my sons. And I had to stop and pause and pray a prayer of victory and make some declarations over my sons versus letting the enemy win and get all up in my head and have me all scared and worried. That's not to say I was not extremely concerned, but I knew to pray. And I would offer that as well. Sometimes you just got to pray yourself through some of your feelings and your emotions at that moment. You just have to, because it was literally in the area where my sons live. So yeah. William says my working out has increased for me to help with my anxiety. I love that. I love it. I love that you're taking the energy and you're doing something with it versus letting it build up inside of you. So that's another good one. Exercise. Some people are eating their feelings right now. So I'm glad you're doing the opposite with the exercise. Ken, did you want to respond to that one?
Yeah, like I said, anytime you can channel, you know what I'm saying, your energy and, you know, to try to subside the anxiety into something more positive, like you said, like working out, that's definitely a good way. Walking or anything, writing, you know what I'm saying, anything that can definitely take your mind off of that and your anxiety of, excuse me, of something happening, you know, like that, and definitely channel into some good energy. Definitely a good way to handle that.
I love that. Channel that energy. What can you do to help somebody in need is another thing. What can you do? Where can you go volunteer your time? Who can you reach out to that may need you during this time? Sometimes you feel like you have nothing you can offer because you're feeling the way that you're feeling, or you're stressed yourself, or you're hurting, or you're brokenhearted, or you're angry, whatever, and you feel like there's nothing that you can offer someone in what you're going through. And that's just not the truth. What ends up happening when you step out of you and start helping someone else that may be feeling the way that you're feeling or going through something worse is it makes you feel better. So that is another option and outlet as well. I don't want to prolong the conversation once we release whatever we need to say and voice what we need to voice. This is the opportunity for anyone that is watching. I'm still checking the other comments coming from your page as well. To, if you have anything last minute that you would like to say, or you can still join us on stage if you so choose. I understand that the topic is so sensitive, you may not want to. And as always, you can hit us up in the DMs as y'all do. Please know that we are praying for you, our POV family, as well during this time. And we ask that if you believe in God, that you would be praying for us as well. King, anything else you wanted to say?
Oh, like you said, you know, we understand that if you don't want to, you know, express yourself on here, definitely leave us a message to let us know. Like I tell people before, that my friends that tell me they listen to the show, you know, I just want, you know, just acknowledge that you hear, you know what I'm saying? So at least we know, you know what I'm saying, when we do send out them prayers, yeah, my man was on, you know, I mean, we pray for everybody, but just it just feels good to know who I'm praying for when I can see their name, you know what I'm saying, because they were listening. So, yeah, we just, you know, glad that y'all took the time, you know, to listen in and see that, you know, we're genuine about everything we do, whether it be relationships, you know, trending topics, and, you know, unfortunately situations like this that, you know, we, you know, far in between that you don't want to come together and talk about this type of stuff, but it's a need because of how people react sometimes. And, you know, you just got to let them know that I'm here, that somebody's here. Because, you know, nobody wants to go through any kind of tragedy alone. No type of anything like this. You know?
Absolutely.
So, you know,
so is there POV for people to bring their thoughts, their concerns, whether we're talking relationships or sex, or we're talking about these things. And unfortunately, this is something that okay. We got the Travis says, Since you're asking people to acknowledge they're here, what's good, King and Queen?
What's
Hey,
up, cousin? It's my cousin Travis.
right.
Yeah, appreciate you, man. Thanks for joining.
Absolutely.
Uh,
King says, William, well, he's the king too. William says, definitely praying for you both. Thank you for using your platform for what is important. And
no
thank you.
doubt.
Thank you for joining us.
Yeah, we appreciate y'all always. And this is what we do. You know, I always give shout out to Nick for just, giving me the opportunity to, use my voice when I didn't want to. When I felt that, nah, I'm cool. But, to see situations like this, to feel comfortable and want to express myself and, wanting to listen to others express themselves on a situation like that, it makes a difference for me as well as hopefully you, that I can be here for you to listen to, or for me to listen to you.
Yeah.
So I do appreciate that. And like I said, anything we talk about is for that reason. You know what I'm saying? To give some type of voice and express, things that, you might want to hear, you know what I'm saying? Or something that can make a difference.
Yeah.
Something that can encourage you, uplift you, just us sitting here looking at you and saying, hey, we acknowledge you. Come on, sit at, like Nick always says, sit at the table. We ain't eating, but we talking. So.
Share. We got
Now that would be something if you sit us at the table eating as well as talking. That's a whole different vibe, but
Cause I made some beans last weekend, y'all.
Yeah, like she said, in between that, having that little laugh can definitely, calm your spirit and just make you feel good about life. That you still understand that you're here on the land of the living, and that's a blessing.
Yes.
That we can actually reach out to each other and say those things that, I love you, you love me, and we're here, today. And hopefully we can say the same thing tomorrow.
Absolutely. I love that, King. I posted earlier this week. I was just so overwhelmed with emotions, and I said, I wonder if the people in my life know how much I really love them. Because one of the little girls, her parents had gone, she was receiving an award that day. And when they were leaving her, they told her that they would be back after school to pick her up. And she says, I love you. And then they said they didn't know that would be the last time that she would say it. So I was laying in the bed thinking, I wonder if people in my life know how much I love them. Because none of us are promised even to make it through the day that we're in or the next day. And I'm not saying that to be ominous. I'm saying that as a fact. So I wanted everyone to know before I went to bed that night how much I genuinely, truly love them. And that is my hope. Even if I've never met you, my love, my heart is just so big that I hope you know. Because even though we joke on this show and we talk about a lot of, we go deep, but we also go funny, and we fight. King and I always argue. That's our relationship, and we love each other at the end of it always. But even though those things happen, it takes a lot of work to do the show, and it's the passion and the love that I have to do it, and it's the passion and the love that he has to do it. So just to sacrifice an hour and some change of your life every week, but even doing all the prep to do so during the week, that's an act of love. And when we tell y'all that we love you, when we encourage you by saying kings and queens keep reigning, we mean it. It's not just a tag, we mean it. Because some of the things that y'all talk to us about without these cameras in the inbox, calling, texting, sending messages, these conversations mean something to you. And they mean something to us because they mean something to you. So you all are very important to us. Your niece, Talicia? Is it
Talicia?
Talicia says, I would just like to say, treat everyone kind and great, everyone with a smile, because we honestly don't know what people are going through on a day-to-day basis. And just a kind word and a smile would make everything so much better for them. I'm big on being that kind of person. Amen, Talicia. Thank you for sharing that. Thank you for sharing that. But please know, I love you all so very, very much. I couldn't even talk to King before we started the show backstage when we were prepping. I was like, I'm not gonna cry today. I'm gonna hold it in. I'm gonna do good. We know that didn't happen.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
I do love you, King, and I
Oh
love
yeah.
you for that. I
Oh
do.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Whew. Um, Another thing I want to say as we get ready to wrap this show up is, y'all, please love on your loved ones while they're here. Please forget the dumb shit. If y'all are angry with each other over somebody bringing the potato salad when they should right? If you're angry over something that happened years and years ago, please, please forgive. When the casket is closed, when the eyes closed, that's it. That is it. And I pray many more years for all of us. I really, really do. While you have today, live today and love today. Forgive today. It's not that deep. It's not that deep. And I know people can get on your nerves, but you probably get on people's too. It's not that deep. King, your final thoughts before we wrap up?
Yeah. Like you said, Nick, you love me. You know I love you. Been riding with you 13 plus. You know what I'm saying? It ain't gonna stop. So, keep doing this as long as we doing it. When it ends, it's still love. You know what I'm saying? But like she said, just drop the small stuff. Y'all, because like I said, my wife was just talking the other day, and I said, these kids down here where we live at, killing each other and don't understand. It's no like, oh man, I shouldn't have did that. It's done.
It's no coming back.
It's done. You know what I'm saying? That's it. Once it's done, you ain't getting up. Once that, you know what I'm saying, however you die in that kind of violent way, there's no, I wish I would have not went down that, that's it.
Yeah.
And I don't think they really understand. We're talking about 18, 19, 20-year-old kids, 17, 16, don't understand. Your life means something, whether you don't think so or not. It means something to your mom. It means something to your dad, your family, your friends that, and that's the last thing they want to see, is that, wow, I just talked to him yesterday. I just talked to him a couple of hours ago. He told me he was going straight home. And it's a sad situation. And we need to understand that and be mindful that we only have one life. That's it. And once it's gone, that's it. There's no, I thought I was going to wake up and you can't even think that thought.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? That's the thing. So, love, like she said, love on yourself, love on your friends, love on your family. Squash that stuff between each other 20 years ago. Let it go. Please. Let it go, because you don't want that malice. You don't want that malice in your heart.
Please.
You know what I'm saying? It's not worth carrying that every day. You know what I'm saying? So, I love y'all. You know what I'm saying? We love y'all. I'm glad we had this today. Honestly, it was something else that was supposed to happen. And so it just shows you how divine intervention. When you know what I'm saying? Things, okay, because we were supposed to do a whole different show this week. And it was just like, this is supposed to happen, this is supposed to happen. And last thing Nick said, hey, let's do this. And I'm like, cool. And I'm glad we did it, because it was something I needed, something she needed, something we all need to be able to have that time to say, I love you. We understand what's happening, and we want to understand it together and keep it and help each other through it. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? On daily. So with that being said, y'all, I love y'all. Appreciate everybody for listening. If you didn't listen today, we got the YouTube thing happening. So definitely log on there and listen to the show. I love y'all. The King is out.
I love that, King. Everything. We love to leave you guys with the word of the week. This time we're going to do it a little bit differently. Just in memory of the people who lost their lives in Buffalo, New York. And then we want to also honor the 2 teachers and the children who lost their lives We want to thank you all so much for watching with us today. And as always, kings and queens, keep reigning, but please keep your heads up. We love you. And as William said, show love. King and I are out. We'll see y'all next week.
Yeah.